Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today, it's another episode of the We All Rise Together series number 18 on courage. I'd like you to kick back and enjoy this track that I'm going to open with today for an amazing friend of mine who I want to say happy birthday to Liz. Welcome to the show, everybody. That song was created by Russ last year, I do believe. And we're rehashing it again this year. But don't worry, because there's something special coming up at the end, so hopefully you can all hang around to the end today for this show on courage. Shall we kick it off? I think so. Let's do it. There was once a quote, end quote. I have always thought myself very big and terrible, yet such small things as flowers come near to killing me, and such small animals as mice have saved my life. How very strange it all is. What is courage? The ability to overcome something that frightens us. The mental or moral strength to venture forth, persevere, and fight off danger, fear, or difficulty. The quality of being ready and able to face negative situations involving danger or pain. An ability to control fear enough to be willing to take on something dangerous, difficult, or unpleasant. Every day there are stories of courage happening all over the world. Be it sports, where a person has overcome the odds to win a game of kicking a ball around in an open field. A random stranger saving somebody unexpectedly. Or just you and me actually being able to get out of bed each day to take on whatever it is that comes our way. It doesn't have to be spectacular. It can be as simple as just forcing a smile. One thing for sure, courage isn't for the weak. Courage is a sign of strength. When we can be at our weakest, it comes from the deepest, darkest depths within to rise above and take on fear. Sometimes when all hope seems lost, it can often take us by surprise, as we didn't know we had it in us. But all of us do. And in our lifetimes, we need to draw on it at least once, if not many, many times. Finding the courage to take on such adversity doesn't always guarantee success. Sometimes we lose the battles that come our way. But when we're faced with such adversity and are able to find the courage to fight on, this is where we can truly say we are living our best lives to the fullest. Because if we're able to win, or even if we lose, we can at least say we lived. Or we continue to live. And we continue to fight. And from my experience, life becomes more precious than you can ever imagine if you're able to find the courage. to live. So the first thing I want to ask you guys today, hi there, in the comments, because this is interactive, 100%. That's what we do here. This is a safe space. As safe as I can make it for you. What I want to know from all of you in the chat and in the comments if you're watching on the replay, please. There's no pressure either. Absolutely. I'd love to hear about something that's gone on in your life that has forced you to be courageous. Remembering that it doesn't have to be some spectacular, unbelievably horrific thing. It can be as simple as sharing a song, getting up in the morning each day, taking on something you thought you wouldn't be able to do. I want to know the things that you've had to face. And while you sit there typing them, I'll share as well, because this is a two-way street, yeah? For myself, there have been two major points in my life that I've had to be absolutely courageous. The first time was in 2003 when I came out as transgender. I felt like my entire world had turned upside down. And the entire world had turned on me. And they had. And everyone I knew no longer wanted to know me. It felt like every single eye on the planet was on me, and I had a target on my back. Every fucking day, a red target glaring for people to smash on and attack. And every day I faced humiliation, comments, laughter, physical abuse. You name it, it happened. And it felt absolutely hopeless. I felt like my entire life was under a microscope. Every minute. And then I had to explain myself to everyone I met. Like there was this need. As soon as I met them, hello, this is what's going on in my life. Please accept me. And it took so much strength and energy each fucking day to get up and face the world. But you know what? I did it. I found the courage. And every day, I was able to stay strong and fight. And as time went on, I felt like I didn't have to explain myself each day. I didn't need to. So it wasn't my problem. It was other people's problems for some apparent reason. The real problem was every day I had lived a bullshit life. 30 years of hiding in a life that I knew was utterly wrong. And it was incorrect, and it had to be corrected. Did things change? Absolutely. Why? Courage. That's all there is to it. It was the getting up each day and just taking it on the chin Peppy could have played a drum beat there. But of course things changed. The process was slow, it was painful, but I'm glad I had the courage to stand up and be exactly who I am. Because ultimately, people's opinions don't really matter when they're basing things on your life. So I want to know, what other things? I've got some people who've written some things. Please feel free to share. You guys make the show. Let me look through comments and see what anyone has written here. As I said, it doesn't have to be a major thing. Small things are still take courage every single day. Leela shared, it took a lot of courage to go for my long-held music dreams as an over 50 female. Absolutely. Like, there's so many stories of courage I see every day in this community, in all of these communities where people share music. I've got to interview so many people who've had the courage to live their lives, start their families, do these things that have made them feel they need to get that out in their life and put music on hold and come back and have the balls to share their music. It blows my mind every day. Well, if nobody's going to share, that's totally up to you, because the show will be short, because this is about you and it's not all about me. I want to know what you guys feel about courage. Yeah. Russ says, let me bring up a comment here. I don't class it courage. I call it getting on with it and fuck what people think. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Fuck what people think. We spend so much time obsessing over what people are going to say, what their opinion's going to be, that we forsake ourselves. Let me bring myself back in here. We forsake ourselves. We put ourselves under unnecessary stress. Metalhead Hippie shared as well. So, man, you blow me away, Metalhead Hippie. Recovering addict, alcoholic, hepatitis C, cirrhosis, amputee, old, fat, chronic pain, all sorts. But hey, life is grand. No complaints really. Just living my life. What can you say? That's it. We're all just living our life. And this is why I want to talk about courage, because it doesn't seem like we're the cowardly lion, that we have to overcome these massive obstacles. Sometimes it's just getting on with it. It's just getting on with it that is the courage. Sometimes it's not digging deep inside this lowly pit to like pull a rabbit out of a hat. Sometimes it's just getting up and going, I've got to get on with it. Leela says, females have a reason to fear what people think because we lack power. It takes a lot of processing to get past that social conditioning. Yeah, social conditioning, man. These perceptions of how people are supposed to be and how they're supposed to act and where they fit in society. Having the courage to get up and fight against that every day and say, no, that's not right. You're not out there like banging pots and pans and starting a movement, but you're creating ripples just by being and existing and saying no that way. Audible Video says, making new friends every time I moved as a child, which was every 3 or 4 years. Because kids, man, they let's be honest, kids can be total, just like adults. And it's hard. You feel like you have to prove yourself. Like you've got something to prove. You have to have the courage to fight, to stand up and say, no, this is who I am. And are people going to like me? Thank you all so far for sharing. Thanks. Because, you guys make this show. This is why I do these shows. Russ says you have to get on top of it or it'll get you down. You have to. And, there's a second part to this question, obviously. Sai says getting on with it more because that's what you have to do. Yeah. Courage isn't about a lot of the time, some kind of decision that you make that it's like, all right, now's the time I have to be courageous. The majority of the time, it's just you have to or you will go under. You will go under. Joe and Barry Glenn says, music was our life. Life got in the way. Then back to music with retirement and getting back in stage. But many of us here have done just that. Absolutely. And not all of you I've had on the show to interview to find out this. But I want to know more about you. I do these shows because I think sharing this stuff's important. It's like a fart. It's better out than in sometimes. I've always got to take it down the toilet, don't I? Barry Glenn says, it wasn't very courageous, but we sold up, gave up my job, and so did Joe. Left our comfy life to head off with the VW van, join a band and play music for a living. But so glad we did. I'm so glad you did too. Because we get to share that music. Liz. We get to Liz. Liz says, I find your life and the courage you showed is inspiring. My husband Russ and Hippie's life are tremendously courageous. Thank you. But again, it really does come down to, you've got no choice, do you? Sai says, I've given up jobs because they were destroying my health. No forward plan, no choice, courageous or damage limitation. And Tom says, you're all courageous. I see it every day. I dislike Disney movies, but for the most part, for their trite pablum. But Dory's words always stuck with me. Just keep swimming. Yeah. Now, I saw comments with Liz here, who I can't put up on the screen. I don't know why they haven't shown up. But let's talk about this. Liz says, with my cancer, I thought of it as a battle and I was going to take it one day at a time. And I was going to be a warrior and kick its ass. And you know what? Liz, if you haven't heard, has kicked cancer's ass. Liz is cancer-free. I think Liz is absolutely inspirational. I've got to know her over the last year, sitting on Clubhouse with Russ when he was in the US. I just can't believe how courageous she is. She's here in the chat. It's her birthday today. And she fucking beat cancer, man. She fucking took it by the neck and she beat it like a bitch. And she's cancer-free. And I just think it's amazing. And it shows the determination and the resilience we have as human beings. It's amazing. Today's show is dedicated to Liz. And you'll see this. Hang around till the end. I've got something special for you, Liz, today. Just amazing stuff. Let me get back off my ugly face here. Hello, Kim. Clem says, blanket hello to everybody. I'm trying not to upset my neck too much today. Can't do hellos, but I love you all. And you don't even need to write anything, Kim, because every day Kim struggles with pain and continues to create music, sit here and support people who make music. Again, courage. Fight through it. Fight through it. No matter how small you may think it is, it's important. Hello, Ivan has joined the chat. Hello. Lots of love for Liz, of course. Kim says, I struggle with mental health, but I just keep going. Don't we all? You know? And I'm glad everybody keeps going. And if you feel like you can't, reach out, because there's always people. There's always somebody around. I know in this community and from services. Without services, I wouldn't be here myself. Metalhead Hippie says, Liz, you're a doll. Boom. Stay well. You faced the dragon, you took its tail off. Peace, Liz. Plus you put up with us. Talk about courage. Absolutely. I have to put up with Russ every day. Tom Carrera has shared, one of my closest friends has a trans son who is 18, and the whole family has had to have courage to support their son who is dealing with depression. Yes. Not only do these things affect individuals, they affect families, entire communities who need to have courage to gather around and take on these things. You know, and I'm sure there's many of us here who still struggle releasing music and fear what people are going to think about it. And we put so much work into it. And sometimes, you know, you don't get a reaction to your music and you think, am I doing something wrong? We're doing something wrong. All right. So, I think I've got most of your comments. What I want to know now, for those in the chat, and I'll share something else with you, for those in the chat, and in the comments afterwards, if you're watching on the replay, feel free to comment, please. I'd love to hear some examples of how you were courageous in the face of adversity. What are some things that you've put in place to get through? Have you had methods, things that you've followed to help you get through? Things in place, some kind of structure? Or is it just a day-to-day thing that you just pushed on through and hoped for the best and taken the waves as they've come? And I'll share. I'll definitely share while you guys have got time to think. If you want to share, remember, it's totally up to you if you want to share. No pressure. Because in 2015, many of you know, I contracted this really rare and random blood disorder called ITP, which I'm living with chronically forever, where I just start bleeding profusely from the nose and mouth. I have an incredibly low platelet count, and surgery did not help. And I'm now living with it forever. On top of being trans. And am I complaining? No, fuck no. Does it suck when it happens? Yes, all the time. But if anything, it came out of the blue. I end up checking myself into hospital covered in blood. I was in hospital for over a month. They took my spleen. All this bad shit happened. I traveled to America to try and get it sorted. Nothing worked and nothing has worked. But you know what? I'm better off for it. Do I wish it wasn't around? Absolutely. But there was a time when I literally gave up. I was dead. I actually wanted to die. And I've never been like that in my life. I literally was just letting myself die. Between 2016 to about 2018, I'd given up. Every day I was facing this thing. It was killing me. I was not eating on purpose. I was literally trying to let myself die. And something happened, you know. So the most random thing. I was living in a park. I was homeless. I was fucked. I'd lost everything. And somebody from an outreach found me in a park and gave a shit. And as soon as that hand came down and reached out to me, I grabbed onto it with everything I had. Everything. And I threw everything into getting on top of things again. And getting a house and getting out of this hole that I was in, enough to just have a bed in a house. That's all I was aiming for. And when these things happen, you know, when somebody throws you a lifeline and somebody cares, yeah, that's where the courage kicks in to say, no, I want to be here. I want to be alive. I want to fight. I will fight. I will get on top of this. And it's 2022 and I'm sitting here in front of you guys doing this every day. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky to know so many great people like you guys and everybody who I interact with around this music community that we have. I'm so happy to be a part of it. And it took just one moment of somebody to reach out for me to just grab it by the balls and just run with it. And that's it. And I'm just going to continue running with it because anything's possible. Not only that, during this time when I was like really down, there was one person in my life who I don't even know. I've never met them in my life. I don't know if I ever will. They reached out to me through the amazing internet and actually financially supported me. And I owe my life to that person who I'll probably never ever meet. But I know it was me who had the courage to finally make the decision to climb out of the hole. At the end of the day, as Russ would say. I'm going to read some comments. Liz says, it's the people who surrounded myself with that got me through the hardest time. The kindness of others. We just hung around and chatted on Clubhouse, so I didn't do much. It was all you. Leela says, I've learned the kind of self-talk that is supportive of making good decisions and coping with the slapping machine that is life. I have good people in my life too, cultivation of relationships that are nurturing and accepting. Metalhead Hippie says, life is a grind for sure. It is. And I've grinded some beans to celebrate. You have to make ways to cope. or fall in a hole. Creating the Metalhead Hippie Show was the best thing I've done for myself and to help other people get by. I'm in the same boat as you, hippie. Doing this, it saved me, and, you know, if it helps anyone, even one person, it's a win. Thomas says, I'm brave as fuck. Well, thanks, Thomas. But, you know, it's funny, isn't it? Is it bravery, or is it just a necessity to stay afloat? Yeah. Russ says, that's what took me from feeling sorry for myself in hospital with a stroke. I lost the use of my right hand side, but the guy in the bed was a lot worse than me, and it changed everything. Yeah, I remember Russ telling the story of seeing people around him after his stroke. I mean, Russ had a stroke and went back to sleep. Can you believe this guy? He had a stroke and he got up and jumped into bed and went to sleep. And he's still with us. Dude, I don't know how you did that. Keep swimming. Absolutely. At the end of the day, says Russ. There you go, at the end of the day. It's nice to be nice. Yes, I joke and take the piss, but I do give a fuck about people. Absolutely. Ivan Ideas shared something. I'm still getting over having agoraphobia. Still, one day at a time. Yeah, man. And, you know, a few of us are really good friends with Ivan, and hopefully he'll come on the show one day and we'll talk about his music and his life. Man, if anyone I know who's risen above, it's Ivan. Mr. Smith says, the people in this community have no idea how much of a positive force they are in my life. I don't have the words either. Totally agree. I didn't have your comment up there. Thank you, Liz. Thank you for the nice words. But it isn't about me. It's about you. It's about these small stories of courage that hopefully can, I don't know, encourage other people. Because I think that's the common thread that I'm trying to show with these videos, is that same but different. You know, we all go through this. It's not like there's some magic person out there who never experiences any of this crap. Thomas is lying in the chat. Russ, you're one of the most... No, I jest. Russ does inspire me also. Russ inspires many people. All right, so... I'm going to kind of wrap this up early today. Now, I know Thomas has a show coming up next. So You Rock is coming up next. If you'd like to be sent over to Thomas's show, wait till the end of this show and you'll automatically be dumped over to Thomas's live stream. All you got to do is turn on your auto play on your YouTube and it will send you over instantly. And then once you're there, turn off autoplay. So, yes, the reality, my live dumps. I love taking a dump on you all. These shows always make me feel better, Jade. Thank you, says Kim. No, thank you, because you guys make these shows. But we're still not finished. There's a little bit to go. So, hey, Benedict Stewart, good to see you, man. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Now, have you guessed what songs have been playing in the background today? Because there's always a challenge. The songs have been altered. but they're always about the topic of the show. Yeah. So I want to wrap up. Of course, I'm going to say something and close. And then I've got something special for Liz to finish out the show because it is Liz's birthday. And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to sing it from the rooftops. Liz beat cancer. She did it, man. I love it so much. So personally, I'm going to disappear off the camera and go back to the lion because he is the cowardly lion who was courageous at the end. Personally, I have had to dig deep, as many of you have shared today, to find the courage to continue existing. Without the courageous stories shared by others who have had to overcome obstacles in their lives, I may not have had the courage to do so myself. For it is the sharing of our stories that give us hope and the strength to fight another day. I would not be here today if it wasn't for my trans sisters and brothers who fought, perished, and won before me, and I thank them for their courage. I want to thank all of you for being here in the live chat and on the replay if you're watching, for sharing your stories. You are incredible. I want to dedicate this show to my dear friend Liz. Over the last 12 months, you have inspired me to see you take on cancer with dignity, strength, and courage. It gives me so much joy to know you are completely cancer-free, and I look forward to you continuing to improve and inspire others and to be courageous in the face of adversity. I also want to wish you a happy birthday and send you all the love in the world to both you and Russ. And I'd like to close today's show with something just for you. Shall we do it? Thank you all for being here. Hang around for Thomas's show. You'll be dumped over there. Let's do this, shall we? Forgive me if I make a fool of myself, but that's what I do every day on this channel, so it's okay, you know what I mean? It's all good in the hood. This one's for you, Liz. And remember, tomorrow is the birthday celebration. 600 episodes, 2 years doing this show. We're going to have a whole heap of guests. People who I've asked on the show, you'll get a link an hour or so before the show tomorrow. And I hope you can join me for it because it's going to be a lot of people on the show. Let's do this. Going to get a copyright claim. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once have you dared to dream really do come true? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, oh, why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, oh, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? Happy birthday, Liz. We'll see you tomorrow for the 600th birthday. Have a great day, everybody.